almost always bet against Lincoln Hawks.
This guy's nothing.
Sylvester Stallone is about to take the sport of arm wrestling over the top. And he's enlisted six-time women's world champion arm wrestler Lori Cole to help. Lori's traveled around the world and staged arm wrestling competitions. The winners of those contests became actors and extras in Stallone's latest film.
But the end result is, by the time that film comes out, I think that it's going to really have an interesting effect on the way people perceive that sport. So really, because it's a great blue collar, very American. As American as the Bowie knife, you know?
One of the real-life arm wrestlers who emerged from Lori's competitions was Rick Zumwalt. This 340-pound trucker astounded Lori and Stallone in his first acting role.
You know, I thought Zumwalt really turned out great.
Oh, he was.
I understood it when he shaved his head like that.
He was scary.
Because we put him through things that, you know, he may not, I mean, he just had the right personality for it. You know, I was thinking, like, at one time he was going to use a big bodybuilder, but nobody could have, you needed a real pro to get those little moves, you know what I mean? It's great.
Lori has a cameo in the movie herself, but she's putting movie making aside so that she can put all of her energy into an intensive training regimen. She's out to recapture the world championship title she lost in 1985.
I liked the feeling of winning. I liked everything about it. So that's when I knew I was going to stay in the sport even when I lost my first, tournament. I knew this was my sport. It's like my calling.
Today, Lori is working out at the Santa Monica Bodybuilding Center. This temple of sweat is where Stallone molds his movie muscles. Another regular is Lou Ferrigno. Lou heard that a world-class arm wrestler was in the gym. He wasn't expecting Lori.
Well, my first impression when I walked in seeing Lori, she looked like a very pretty, sensual woman. I never had the impression that she'd be an arm wrestling champion.
Lou stopped arm wrestling in 1977, the same year Lori started her professional career. Lori turned to the seasoned pro and got pointers on how to increase her strength and guard against the rigors of her sport. The practice session meant plenty of strain, but Lori knows that this kind of training helps ensure that she'll never again face the trauma of having her arm broken in a contest.
And I got in what's known as a broken arm position, which is putting your shoulder in front of the arm. And what happens is there's so much torque on the humerus that it causes a break. When it happened, it was just before I was, going to put her down, and I heard a real loud noise, and my arm just flopped to the other side.
Okay, Lori, 3 deep breaths now.
Adding another weapon to her arsenal, Lori has regular sessions with a hypnotist. Through hypnosis, she turns the anxiety and stress of competition into added strength. Like Rocky Balboa, Lori knows the total dedication of brawn and brain can give even an underdog an advantage.
Lori's a perfect example of an athlete who is able to compete against athletes with bigger muscle mass and greater strength, and yet she can win because she has the concentration, the confidence, and the will to win.
To round out her training, Lori stages arm wrestling demonstrations. This happy hour crowd gets to see match after match with a dozen world-class competitors. It also gives Lori the chance to test herself against men. It's the kind of matchup that could never happen in officially sanctioned competitions.
This sport is the most exciting sport there is. There's nothing more exciting than arm wrestling. It's like you have to explode on a go. And there's like the feeling of adrenaline and the feelings that run through you and, the other competitors. There's nothing like it.
In the 10 years that Lori has been competing, she's seen the sport grow to a point where there are now over 100,000 competitors. Still, she admits that Sylvester Stallone may be the single most important man to ever step up to an arm wrestling table.
If there was somebody that you could pick to do this movie over the top, and you could pick anybody in the world, I would have picked Stallone because of his impact on, what he does. I mean, he made boxing, he made wrestling, now he made arm wrestling.
As Lori continues on her road to regain her championship, she takes with her the memories and encouragement of Sylvester Stallone. That support may be just what she needs to get over the top.
Well, it's my pleasure. Thank you, man. I never want to arm wrestle you.
Yes, you
She'll beat me, man. Believe me. I'll see you later.
Okay, Slide, thanks.
Bye.